You are live. Hello, everyone. I'm still getting used to
Hello, how you doing?
Still feels very weird.
What?
The new avatars and
Oh yeah.
but then
Yeah.
I forget that we're on YouTube. Just think we're doing our usual thing until I see the avatars. Okay, top of the shop is Sarah Lou. Hello. Pia's here. Hello. Dawn Lim, hello, one and all. Looking forward to today's live. That's lovely. Martina's here. Hi. How are you getting on, day 2? Good morning from Australia, says Jenny Cox. Hello.
Hi,
Catherine
Jenny.
Brown's here. Hello, Catherine.
Hi, Charlie.
Vicky Ware, good morning,
Good
everyone from Australia.
morning.
It's like, damn it, I'm not right at the very top. Leah's here, 5 Wilds. Good morning, everyone.
Morning,
Did
Leah.
you were here, weren't you, last night when we went through that quickly for you at the end? You were, I think. Good. Michelle Mallory, good afternoon, everyone from USA. Julio, hello. Jade French here. Hello. Maggie Thrussell, hello. Aston Burnett, hi, lovely. Such a lovely smile. How your day 2 too? Ooh, exciting. Angie Medler, day 2. Hello. Melanie Rosenbauer's here. Hello, warriors. Is that Philadelphia, PA? I think
No
it is,
idea.
isn't it? It's PA, Philadelphia. Something I probably would never be able to spell. I'm quite good at spelling. I'm just thinking about spelling.
No good asking me.
Jay says, remember to like the stream. Okay, yes, everybody, you need to like the stream. That's right. I'm not very good at this because it's YouTube. You need to like the stream, subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell, ding, to make sure that you get notified when a live drops. I'm down with the kids.
I've just been notified. I just got it up here in the corner of my screen.
I got one as well. That's good, actually, because seeing as we're the ones actually on it, you'd think we'd know.
Good job we know.
Good job we know. But yes, everybody like. It helps the algorithm. It makes YouTube think, ooh, they're getting quite popular. Carol Colbert's here. Morning from Canberra. Morning, Carol. Heather Swithenbank's here. Hi, everyone. Received my 10K mug today. Yes. Is it nice? Do you like it? Good afternoon from Ohio. This is Jade. Says Jade die. No, Erin. Good afternoon from Ohio. Jade die. I don't understand that. Die? I'm sure it's not meant to say die. I don't know. She's absolutely sure she doesn't mean that. Vivian. Hello, everyone. Says Vivian. Sarah, she says the link can also be shared now on our own Facebook as it's public on YouTube. May reach more people who haven't found us yet. Of course. You can share the link. I shall be changing the at the moment what YouTube is doing now. I need to tell you about this actually, because what YouTube does is it sits it in the live section, which is where I'm going to leave it. But in order for it to put it in the video section, because not everybody goes and has a look in the live section, I have to edit it a little bit, and then it will create it as a video, and I'll make sure that so it'll be twice on YouTube. It'll be in the live section and in the video section. And in the live section, you'll get all the comments still coming down. But in the video section, it will be without comments. But it doesn't matter, does it? So there you are. Marvellous. I found that out. When I get around to doing that, God knows. I thought this would make it easier. Ramon is here. Hello, everyone from Spain. Becky's here. Hello again. Feels like it was only a couple of hours ago that I saw you. Silver Lining Stables. Hello, everyone from a chilly New York, says Laurie Nicola. Therese is here. Hello.
Hi, Therese.
Sweden, all the way up there. And hi in Sweden. Yes, I was. Penny coming on Friday to trim. Oh, great. I meant to say that, actually. And then I completely forgot. And when I looked quickly today, I thought, oh, gosh, I must tell her to get Penny. But it's okay, because Penny's coming. So, diddly-dee. Brilliant. Heather Swithenback says, love it. Caroline says, hola. Warriors from Portugal. Hola. Melanie Rousemail says, it's Melanie. Oh, yes. It's Melanie Perrine, but YouTube account must have been in my maiden name. Oh, it is short for Pennsylvania. I did wonder whether it's Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. Us Brits were a bit hopeless at all that. It can't get enough of these lives. Oh, it's so lovely to see you, Melanie. I hope all's going well with your darling mare. Let us know. Okay, so what are we going to do tonight? Are we going to go back into the group and do some more of that, or has anybody got a question? Gary and I can just sit here and chat about useless nonsense if you like, or you could ask us a question. Just relax and wait for them to all come.
Jade French is on, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah, she actually bit the bullet and did a trim.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that in the
that's
do you want to share it?
Oh yeah, can do. I was looking for another one, but I just popped up that one. Okay, so bear with me a second.
Erin says, sorry, just saw it cut off my message. I meant to say, Jade, your trim looks fantastic on Diego. Jade, die. Yes, I did wonder what you were doing. Okay, let's go have a look then, shall we? Gary can bring it up. He can share it. He can share.
Okay, can you see that?
Can. Oh.
It's not a huge amount of pictures, but just wanted to share a massive win. I've started trimming Diego, my friend, and took pictures of his hinds before trimming them the Phoenix way. Then 8 days later, when I visited again, I am delighted. It's one thing to see everyone else's hooves and trims, but very different. But very different and incredibly powerful to see the positive changes that one's own trim has made. Ooh. Very good. Get you. Well done, Jade.
Let's have a look at the picture then and click on it, and let's bring it up a bit bigger or blow it up. There you go.
So that was before. And that was after.
Oh, that's great.
Very good.
Look at those quarters.
Yeah, those quarters have got a much better arch in them. And this one looks as though it's a little bit bull-nosed. That definitely hasn't been done here.
Very good.
Well done.
Excellent. Well done. Well done.
Okay, I'll stop sharing for a minute.
Melanie says she's doing well, living on the track with her friends. A few more months and new hoof growth will be completed, new x-rays in December. Oh, looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Well done, Jade. Well done. Onwards and upwards. Isn't it great now that we're seeing so many people that have been quietly watching in the background for all these months and now are starting to come forward and go, I've been following for a few months and I've been doing this with my horse to great effect. I do want to talk to you about something actually that's just popped into my head. Could you chat a bit about caudal hoof failure and how best to support that? No, you're going to have to wait until you get to level 4 to find out all about that, Sarah. I will. I'm not joking. Vanya Lacey says, hi, everyone. Well done, Jade. Thank you. Imagine me taking a bow. I am imagining you taking a bow. Susan Mitchell's here. Hi, everyone from West Yorkshire. Hey up. How are you doing today? Sarah Lou says, take a ticket. Exactly. Take a ticket. I've got all these funny little sayings.
Well done. We don't normally say take a ticket on a live, but we do say take a ticket on a workshop.
Yeah. Take a ticket.
Take a ticket.
I will come back to that if I can remember. But I did want to say something, actually. There was a post that went up today. And I can kind of understand it, really. But I'm not going to go in and highlight the post. I think it's still on the page. I don't think the admin group took it down. And it was from somebody who was new to the group and turned up and was very much on the defensive, really. And rather than sort of going down and having a good look at what goes on in the group or filling your boots with, what is it now? What live is this? 103. filling your boots with 103 lives, or at least trying to watch or listen to some of them. I know, right? Came on and kind of went, oh, I'm trying to wrap my head around. Well, you're not going to be able to wrap your head around anything unless you really start to try and get into what we're talking about here. And it was very much along the lines, and I told you this, I warned you this, I said to you to this either yesterday or the day before, or whenever it was on the other live, when I was talking about when people think what we're doing is very low heels and long toe. I told you that's what people think what is going on, because they can't grasp that if you leave it to Mother Nature's constants, you're never going to get it wrong, except when there are just the very few horses that have caudal hoof failure, very bad caudal hoof failure. And that hasn't come about because that's a natural thing for that horse. Not at all. It's come about because of things that have been done to that horse that have gone against that horse's natural constants. And with those feet, they just kind of sit in limbo, not really doing much when it comes to the heel. And they're usually thoroughbred types, not always, but usually. And they're usually horses that have been shod from an early age, and they haven't matured at the back of the foot. The digital cushion is very, very weak, and it seems to actually affect more than just the digital foot cushion. The horn just doesn't want to grow particularly brilliantly, and these are very, very weak feet. And those are, experts take those feet on. And funnily enough, we see in the Phoenix group, we see far, far more feet that have got far too much going on, and Coke can feet and all of that, rather than actually horses that do suffer from these very, very poorly weak feet. But that's not what this comment was really about, or this post was really about. And it was really talking about, well, if you bring the heels right down, surely they're going to be sat on their bulbs, as if it's again a guess, because the whole world has got, and all this confusing information. People are always saying that, aren't they? I'm so confused. It's all very confusing. It's confusing because people do PPT, personal preference treatment. That's why it's confusing, because if Gary and I employed PPT, we would never agree. We kind of agree, but we wouldn't really agree. And he could do one foot and I could do the other on the same horse, and they wouldn't be down to the horse's constants. They would be to what we thought. So you can see why people get themselves terribly confused. And this sort of post sort of went on and then said, I'm trying to understand this technique. And then a little way down, a couple of people had posted and said, oh, yes, something about a method. There were some wonderful responses, really, really great responses by many of you. In fact, it's so brilliant when we go in and we read all these responses, and the majority were just fantastic. There was only one or two that were sort of going, oh, yes, I'm trying to understand this method too. I don't know how many times I can say this. It is not a method. It's not a technique. It's a skill, being able to balance a horse's foot correctly, but it's not a technique. It's not it's their method. No, it's not mine. I'd love to say it was mine, but it isn't. It isn't Gary's either. It isn't any of yours either. It's the horse's. And it sort of it doesn't rile me because I've heard it so many times. But I find, because we use that language all the time, and we're always talking about somebody else's method, and they are methods. They are. If you employ PPT, then it is a method. And if you employ PPT and it's a method that needs to be adapted left, right, and center, then it's not a very good method. So It's not a method. When everybody says that to you, just say it's not a method. These are the horse's natural parameters, whatever they may be at that moment in time, at that time of their life, at that time of rehab. That's what it is. And that's how you have to view it. But if you don't understand that, and then I think she said something about, I mean, I feel like I'm having a go. I'm not, because everybody's got to come in and everybody's at a different stage of their learning journey. And a lot of people do actually come into the Phoenix group a little bit defensive, or because they don't want to be, I get it, right? They don't want to be led down the garden path again. I know Catherine Brown, who's watching right now, and actually Angie Medler, and probably quite a few others, actually particularly in the States, have been down that journey and led down that garden path, because you've tried and you've stopped off on the way as you've gone along that garden path, usually down the path of pathology, and you've stopped off and tried a little bit of this trim, and then for whatever reason you moved on, and then you tried another little bit of this trim, and then eventually you found the Phoenix way and went, oh, I actually think that I might have been employing personal preference trimming and chopping toes off, maybe leaving a heel a bit high, I don't know, certainly the bars. And then you move away from all of that when you start to trust the horse's foot. You have to trust the horse. You do. It's not a bloody method. It's not a technique. It's a skill. And balancing is the biggest part of it. It isn't even, once you've got the whole HSP, hard sole plane job, business bit, once you've got that, it's really the crucial part of the trim is making sure that the horse's foot is balanced. And of course, when they start chopping toes off, you cannot be 100% sure you've got that horse's foot balanced, because the horse no longer has their toe wall on the ground, which is a crucial part of the anatomy that you need in order to eyeball from heel to toe. So I've said to the admins, when posts like that come in and they are full of kind of slightly defensive, slightly like, well, come on then, show us how marvelous you are. I want to see these ridden horses. I want to see. It's a rehab group, and there are lots of ridden horses and lots of people in. There's 10,000 people in this group. There's an awful lot of them that have an awful lot of horses that are okay. But we tend to see coming up and down the thread all the time horses that are sick, because people are desperate and they want answers. But by all means, guys, get on there and show some results, and please do feel free. I'm inviting you, Gary and I are inviting you to wax lyrical about how you found not a method, not a technique, but how you've actually woken up to the horse's natural foot, and how that is helping your horse. Because nobody, and I tell you this now, I tell you this without fail, there's not one person who's walking on this earth who knows what that horse, any horse, how they want their foot balanced, what degree they want P3 to be sat at in the palmar angle. Nobody knows that at all. There's only one being that knows that, and that is that horse. It is actually like me going along to Gary and looking at him and going, I just think I'm going to get some. Gary, you're not standing right. Right, hang on a minute. I'm just going to get some plastic wedges, and I'm just going to shove them under your foot and on your heel. I'm going to give us your shoe. I'm going to really wedge you up. Does that make you feel better? That looks better. That's better. And while I'm at it, I'm going to make sure that you haven't got anything at the toe. You'd be like, get off. Get off. And they can't talk. Now, they can show us, they can talk if you know how to read a horse's behavior and you've been around them long enough. Mind you, I say that. There are hundreds upon thousands of people who have spent their lives around horses and can't read them at all. But if you can learn to read them, and you start to understand what pain responses are, what frustration is, what they're trying to tell you. And if you don't ignore them, you can learn a lot. But because they don't speak our language or any other language that a human being speaks, they can't say to you, can you just stop doing that, please? I mean, frankly, it's not very pleasant. You try walking around on feet that have been molded by a human being who has not one jot of understanding about my natural wear patterns. If they could talk, bloody hell, what would horses say if they could talk? Poor buggers. Oh, Wen. Hello, Wen. Hi, newbie here. Is it Wen or is it Ven? Is it Wen? From the Netherlands. Hello, good to see you.
Welcome.
Angela Garberg's here. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Just figured out how to comment. Sarah says, hi, Wen. Vanya says, can you please look and talk about the post from Faith Dieter? Okay, we'll get in, maybe have a look in a minute. Hi, me too, Angela. You can't comment via Facebook. No, because this is on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
You can comment, but we're not looking at the post on Facebook. I think we were looking at the same post comments. Yeah. I ran into your group with my arms wide and my white flag flying. I don't think I ever took such a huge leap of faith in my life, and I'm still falling down the rabbit hole. I think really what we should be saying is we're climbing up out of the rabbit hole. You were down there, you're climbing out now. You're finding your way back out. Becky says, yes, and I think your feet look too wide, so I'm going to shave off a lot of your foot so it looks a better shape to me. I know.
That makes sense, does it?
It's incredible. It's incredible to me that people can look down on a horse's foot. That they don't even know this horse, and it wouldn't make any difference if they did. But they can look down on a horse's foot and actually make a comment. That toes are too long, they need to come up. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, yeah. Oh, heels are too low. They think that, yeah, you need to let them upright them, let them grow. What, you mean underrun? Shorten that surface area? What are you talking about? Have you asked the horse? They've got foot. I hope you're very good, because you've got to get 4 feet right with all that attitude, which of course they don't. And as they mess around with the front feet more than the hind feet, that's why we see such a shocking mess. Nearly always in the front feet, and now and again in the hind feet. God, Gary, I hope one day, before I shuffle off this mortal coil, I hope that I do one day, we manage to get standards throughout the equine world, because it's 2024 and people are still playing around with horses' feet, and horses are suffering.
And still thinking, somebody said the other day, and still thinking that they can just carve and chop willy-nilly because they think it's just this dumb piece of horn, when the hoof is far from dumb. Far from dumb. It is such a clever feat of engineering if you just take the time and effort to learn. That's all.
Trust.
Yeah.
Trust Mother Nature. Trust what that horse is showing you. You trust your own feet, don't you? I don't walk exactly the same way as you do, Gary. All of us watching here don't. We know that, because when we say, don't we, you pick somebody else's wellies up or shoes and you put them on, it feels horrible. We don't walk the same, but that's the way I walk, and so therefore I know what it feels like. And if I walked enough, and I never wore shoes, I was barefoot and I walked enough, everything would callus in the right place and I would be okay. But I wouldn't want somebody then coming along and saying, oh, you just need a little bit pushed. No, because I'm modeling those feet which are responding to me and my biomechanics, determining my gait. We've just got to stop doing it. We've got to stop pretending we know what we're talking about when you don't. You cannot possibly, if you are not balancing to the horse's own natural parameters. It's a shocker. Okay, I'm going to show you something. So this
I was just thinking about, whilst we were chatting, while you're finding that picture, one of the two biggest influences on a horse's demise are the feet and the teeth. So why are we pissing about with the feet and getting it so wrong? It's got to stop.
Because everybody wants to be an expert, Gary. Because everybody wants to be an expert. Well, just when they say, oh, you know, hoofing marvelous, hoofing marvelous, they just no. We are hoof capsule balance experts. That's what we do, and we read the horse's natural foot. But we're not the ones that are going around going, right, okay. I mean, we got plenty of videos of watching people do that. Oh yeah, now just. I think I could just take a bit off here, and just take a bit of that off, and I wedge up the back. Look, because you know the palmar angle should be at between 6 and 9 degrees, and I mean, stop it, and stop putting shoes on horses' feet. There's no need. If you just fed them right, trimmed them right, my God, what a revelation! A horse could actually be healthy. So this is very quickly as we come to the end. This is Rosie. Now we've had Rosie's owner on several times. One of Gary's friend of HM and one Gary's client for a long time. And Rosie got very sick and she had to go to a hospital. She got an infection. It was the second time, in fact. She's doing very well now. And Gary, after the first time, which caused some real systemic issues, her feet grew out and became amazing. If I nip backwards, if I go up here, you can see. We take lots of photos. You can see, here we go, for instance, this is what the stretch looked like. There she is. There's the stretch. It's growing out. Can you see? You see this growing out here? So this is the all these rings are stopping. It's calming down. This is a normal, natural hoof pastern axis that you see here. That we didn't guess. We just followed her parameters and she brought this in for us. This is the old angle of the hoof. This is why we call this a healing angle. You can see this big change here. And then that just grew out, right? And she did really well. Absolutely brilliant. Growing all of this out. There you go. You can see that last little tiny little bit is starting to disappear now at the end. Do you see it? It's just starting to go. This is where a little bit of it had fractured off because she had some little cracks in the side of the foot. And you keep on going down. Lovely hinds growing out there, looking really good. You can just see that little nibble at the end that is disappearing. Really beautiful. Really, just when you do this with these horses, it's fantastic. And just watching everything tighten up, it's just really good. Okay. And then Rosie got sick again. Look at that. Do you see how much that's come in? It's a huge amount. And then Rosie got sick again and she ended up going to the vets. There she is. And while she was at the vets, this is pretty much what her feet had looked like. Gary had spent all this time with her owner growing out all of this. It almost gone. Look at this tiny little line there. In fact, I think it just had, really fantastic looking feet. I mean, really great. From feet that, if I go back up here, feet that looked like, let's get halfway down. Here we go. That foot there. Look at that. This is a rehabbing foot. That foot ended up being that one. It's nearly there. Look at that. Right? Which was this one. And then she got sick again and went into the vet clinic. And the vet did that.
Wasn't from the top. Lame, wasn't anything. She was in the vet to basically have a massive dose of antibiotics because she had a massive infection. Nothing. She was never there for her feet, and she was never lame. She was they chopped her foot off because it looked too long.
There you go. That's what he did. Chop the foot off. There's no hoof wall on here now. No hoof wall on the ground at all. This is this is abuse. This is a terrible, terrible insult to this horse's foot. It is abuse. Can you see? It's not even touched the heels. Do you see that? So he's deliberately shortened. Doesn't even know he's done it. He's deliberately shortened this. Well, I say doesn't know he's done it. He knows he's done this, but doesn't understand the impact of doing that and not addressing this. And you shouldn't do that in the first place anyway. And he never even asked the owner. He just did it. Look, can you see? Can you just begin to see if you carried on doing that and you allowed, because she was there for a little while, so Gary came back and then was able to trim, but this is before the trim. So you can see how this is shortening, how this is coming up. Do you see? Sorry, I'm looking. You can see the side of my face. It's because I'm looking over my screen. Sorry, I'll come over here. Do you see how? Can you still see my cursor?
Yeah.
Can you see how if you allow that to happen, this is going to get straighter? Can you already see it starting? This is going to get shorter, and that P3 in there is then going to get compromised, and eventually a little bit way down the line in a couple of years, and they come and let's say obviously she's going to be fine, and she is fine, but she didn't have us in a couple of years with this continual toe chopping, walking around on the sole, heels going up and up and up, P3 going more and more rotated, this horse getting poorlier and poorlier in terms of crippledness and lame. And then they x-ray it in 2 years' time and go, oh, look, yes, look at that terrible laminitis. She's got bone degeneration and osteonecrosis, and let's keep taking a toe off. No, absolute no cognizance about the fact that you caused that. You did it. No, look at that. Didn't address the heels, lopped the toe off. Left everything above the hard sole plain. Thank God she had a bit of a toe callus. There we go. Didn't touch the back feet. No, just the fronts. Look how much he's shortened that wall. Look at this. Gone.
No toe pillar anymore.
And indiscriminately, a little bit more off over here, but less over here. I mean, what a bloody mess. Why do people do this? Abuse the hoof capsule as if it doesn't matter. And then this is after a couple of trims. This is a little while later now. This is July. So that's before his trim. I think this is a little bit way. No, I know. I think this is even before then, isn't it? This is the 20th of July now, so a little later on. And that's a back foot. Left those alone, look. Oh, so that's all right then. Don't need to chop a toe off that one. But no. The front ones are lop 'em. It's idiotic. It's a welfare issue, and it needs to bloody stop. These are people who are absolutely ignoring. Look at that. No toe wall on the ground. All that we've got to do all over again. That, well, we've got to do. She's got to do all over again. Blooming heck. Got a little cat there.
Hello, Mew Mew.
She's on my lap. She's trying to. She's got her head tucked. Look, I don't know if you can see, but she's got. No, you probably can't. La 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 la. So fine to finish on a success story. Thank you. Spoke too soon.
Well, it was a success case because she has actually grown her hoof capsule out, but it wanted to highlight that a top equine hospital that this pony went to for 10 days did that. That's what that's about. But she is fine. She's rock crunching and
she's growing it out because she didn't have it done over and over again. It only happened the once. Yeah. But the point is, never any discussion with the owner. No discussion, just simply went, oh, looks a bit short here. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. We're never going to ever change this while we have these people walking around the earth who think that they can do what the sodding hell they like to a horse's hoof capsule with no recourse for them. No. So the infection was not in the hooves and the vet is arrogant.
No. The infection that she had wasn't in the hooves. It was.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. So the infection was not in the hoof and the vet. Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
So there was no infection in the hooves. Nothing wrong with the hooves. Nothing. He just thought, looks long. Because guess what he's used to seeing? He's used to seeing nails and shoes and chopped off toes is what he's used to seeing. So a barefoot horse, which has actually got a shorter hoof capsule than a shod horse when you include the length of the shoe, as if that was the capsule, because that's, as far as the horse is concerned, that's what it's walking on, right?
Yeah.
That's what they get used to seeing. So when they see a barefoot horse, a lovely bare hoof that had rehabbed all that time, a year nearly. Oh, it was a year, in fact, just over a year. And he went, oh, in one foul swoop. Now, had we not been there, or Gary had not been there, Rosie would be in a very bad way now, because the toe chopping would have carried on and those heels would have come up, carried on. And that is exactly the route that poor horse that's with Faith went on.
Yeah.
Wonder how the feedback to that vet went. Any awareness after the fact? No. And again, it's difficult, isn't it? Because this owner was on the phone to him, and I hope you can see me because I think it's just going to die. The owner was on the phone to him. He phoned the owner and said, oh, and by the way, it was just incidental. Oh, by the way, I've taken the toes back. I beg your pardon. I've taken the toes back. What? Why have you done that? What? And because she's been on this journey with Gary and knows him, and I can imagine what was going through her mind. She was probably thinking, holy hell, wait until I tell Gary. How am I going to
tell Gary?
And I told her I didn't. It was nothing to do with me. Just did it. I promise you, Gary. So what do? The horse comes back. We go, Jesus Christ. We move on and we get on with it, right? And we get it sorted. But nobody ever goes back and says something to him because he wouldn't listen anyway. No, he wouldn't listen anyway. And it wouldn't understand. There's two. You guys watch hundreds of lives to get yourself up to speed. Just going and speaking to somebody for 5 minutes they couldn't comprehend it. Jade said, I'm fit. Someday there will be a major lawsuit and this will never happen again for fear of such a backlash. I think that's what will happen.
We've said that.
Gary and I think that's what will happen.
Yeah, all that needs to happen is there needs to be somebody of suitable standing within a organization that everybody knows of, and it'll be their horse, their wife's horse, their daughter's horse, their son's horse, their grandchildren's horse, and all of a sudden they'll just go through the process of rehabbing, and then it will just blow up. We just need to get there. We're getting there, because look, there's
it will blow up, and the thing is, they better be very
so far.
I know, and the trouble is, when you ask for experts, they'll bring in all their own experts, but now the evidence is growing.
Yeah,
they're not going to be able to hide behind that nonsense anymore. Not that I'm saying they're doing it on purpose. I'm not, but I mean, it's just God,
they don't know.
Myths, ignorance, and false beliefs. You can't build a foundation on myths, ignorance, and false beliefs.
Past experience shows us that if we were to just give them a case study, timelines, all of those things, it's almost that it just goes in one ear, out the other, and it's almost like it goes in the inbox, or it goes into the post, and then it goes in the bin. There's nothing there. Having a 20-minute conversation is not enough. Having a 2-hour presentation is not enough. What is enough is coming on a workshop or taking the 15 and 10-day challenge. That's what gets you enough information to be able to really understand how the hoof works at a foundation level.
But at that foundation level, Gary, they know more.
Oh, exactly.
You take the 3-day workshop.
Foundation level, you've got more information than the majority of trimmers, farriers, and vets across the world.
I know, and they go, "Oh God, don't be so ridiculous! Really? Do you want to have a go?
Do it, and then come back and tell us that we're wrong."
And you see how it all there's a challenge, and you see how it all links in together. Then how all the diet management and the trimming all links in together. But yeah, there's a great example of how wrong vets can get it. I know, and it sounds like we're vet bashing. Well, frankly, if you're going to be that kind of person who goes along and randomly just chops the toe off a horse's foot, I don't care whether you're a vet, a farrier, anybody. I don't care who you are. You're abusing that hoof capsule because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're doing. Leaving the heels, leaving everything else, up and away, chop and away, and then look at the X-ray. Go back. If somebody sent you to the end of this video, now reverse, go back, rewind, and go back and have a look at those X-rays that we were showing you earlier, because that's the route that they take to get to that point. That's abuse. There's no other word for it. God, imagine what would he have done to that longer toe? Oh God, I know.
Goodness.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's why owners don't get X-rays at that moment in time, because he chopped the toe off of a perfectly fine foot. Imagine if he'd seen one with a slightly longer toe, what he would have done to that. Not only would he have likely chopped the toe off, he could have then gone and thrown his, I'm a the big vet card, got the RSPCA out. They could have even taken that pony off her. Not only that, they could have then employed their own farrier. They could have even put it to sleep. They could have employed their own farrier to take over. All of these things sound ridiculous, right? You've seen them all. We've seen it all happen, which is why we say to owners, don't go near a vet until you've grown out the hoof capsule. It's that serious. Oh my God, Ailig has just endured a 30-minute lesson on capsule alignment from me, while you are also with playing in the background. Good. And he'll get it, Sarah. That's the crazy thing. He will get it. Jeanette says, hi, all, bit late. We'll have to watch. Oh, yeah, watch it. It's a good one. It's a good one. I cannot express enough how much doing the 3-day workshop really cements everything you see on the page. Challenges an absolute must. 100%, guys. If you are, save up, just save up your money and get on there and do them, because it puts you, you're here, you're learning so much. It all consolidates everything together. There'll be stuff in there that you'll be like, I've heard Lindsay talk about that before, but this is bringing it all together. And then you go up another level. And then you're really hooked. And then we say it all the time, you'll know more than pretty much every other person in the world when it comes to hoof care, unless you are doing what we do, which is to the horse's natural parameters. Not all vets get it wrong, but the further the training, Vivian is a vet, everybody. Not all vets get it wrong, but the further training for vets needs to be updated in hoof care, definitely. And the curriculum at the vet schools needs to include at least basic trimming training. Absolutely, 100%. Because all vets around the world are coming out of schools with no basic trimming training, no basic balance training, no hoof capsule training, just being told what shoes do what. And the curriculum isn't being updated to reflect what we now know about laminitis and rotation. And so they're well behind. They're so far behind, and they are stopping progress. Not the vets themselves, unfortunately. Well, they are, but that's only because of they have come out of those schools that are far, far behind. So they're stopping progress. We could stop this. Do you know something what's really crazy is we could all stop this tomorrow. All of this suffering, all of this awful suffering could be stopped immediately if people just stop going, oh, well, their method or his method. It's not about a method. I go back to the beginning of what I said at the beginning of this live. It isn't a method. That toe chopping, that's a method. Pony Club syllabus needs addressed for our future generation, but it all comes from the top, Sarah. It all comes from the top. If the vets started changing, everything else would filter down. And yeah. Anyway, hour and 26 minutes later of a rant.
And you got a Mew Mew?
Look at her face. She doesn't look impressed. Look. She's trying to get a bit of warmth on my lap. Okay, we're going to go. A meeting at the curriculum board is called for, methinks. Oh, my goodness, yeah. I mean, can you imagine they'd be going, pardon? What? No. Really?
Hoofing who?
Hoofing who? As the vet in Melbourne in Australia called us, who calls himself, I think he calls himself the hoof doctor. He said we are hoofing moronic.
Hoofing moronic.
Is what he called us.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Great live, guys. Maybe offer the HM workshops. We've discussed that, Vivian. We think that's a good idea. How many would come? Who knows? But yes, we've decided that we're going to do that at some point for sure. Change will come only from the bottom. I think the client's awareness, and I said 100%. This is about you, all of you. You're changing it. We've always said that. We're the facilitators. You're the one that are going to change it. And then they have to stop because you just say, no, not anymore. You will change it. Brilliant live, Susan. Thank you. Thank you for the great live. Jade, wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for the interesting live. You're welcome. Pia, thank you. You're welcome, guys. Right, we're going to let you go. And are we on tomorrow night, Gary?
I have no idea.
I tell you what, we're not going to be on tomorrow night because I'm going to be in Paris tomorrow night because I'm taking Asha up to move into her new apartment in Paris with her sister. But hopefully we'll be on the 31st, which is Halloween. Ooh, spooky. All right now. Okay. See you soon.
See you Thursday.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.